Hi everyone, it's Lisa and Luna from Don't Run with Scissors, back with another Technique Tuesday. It's not just Lisa and Luna anymore. We now have a household of 5. It's Lisa and Sean, so you never know when he's going to pop up. And Luna now with Stella and MJ. Those were Sean's 2 rescue cats. And we finally have moved in down here in Atlanta, Georgia, and trying to get back to a normal way of life. I started with a new company and had to open up a brand new division, which finally went live, and things are starting to quiet down, so I'm starting to be able to get back to some of my creativity and playing in the craft room. So today I really wanted to make a mess, and I decided I was going to be working with the Gelli Plates. I know I have talked about them in previous videos and never have shown them, and I've started making some backgrounds with these for many of the cards that I've been doing lately. I absolutely love it. It's a ton of fun, relatively inexpensive to do, but the products do or can add up as usual. So Gelli Plates are just what they're like, jelly. Jelly shoes, jelly bracelets, all that kind of stuff, and they come in these little packages. They do come in circles, rectangles, hexagons, triangles, minis, bigs. This teeny one here is a 3x5. They come with these little plastic covers. When you get one, please read the directions on how to care and clean for them. Not that it's difficult or anything, but you do want to make sure that you're doing everything you can to protect the actual printing plate. Now, when you are using your printing plates, this one I have here is a 5x7. And many of the cards you make are 4x6, so you have the extra edge here so you can cut off your messy ends. And you can put all sorts of things on here. Right now I stick pretty much to acrylic paints and also distress inks. I'm not using distress inks today because I did want to play with paint, so another video another day with the distress inks. What you do want to have on hand is stuff to make texture or stencils or these little scrapey wavy tools that are actually made specifically for the Gelli printing. And you can really do whatever you want, and you can make a mess with whatever you want. That's why it's so much fun. So play with your colors, play with your backgrounds. It's a ton of fun. So today I actually want to do 2 cards, so we're going to play with 2 colors. One I want to do a nautical theme, and the other I do want to use my pine cones. So this one here is going to be a fall color. I've pulled out some browns and red acrylic paint, some gold and copper, so that you can see how the background is going to get made. I'm not going to tell you, it's going to look a little messy at the beginning, so don't always go with your first instinct, but keep on playing. So when you use your Gelli plate, all you need to do is apply a little bit of acrylic paint. Usually you'd like to do 2 colors because they do blend very well. There is no rhyme or reason to picking colors, and you don't have to pick darks over lights. Everything really will blend together. You do want a brayer on hand. Some people have bigger brayers. This is just the little one that I have. And go ahead and just take that color and smoosh it around and have a ball. Make a mess. What you do want to have with you is you do want to have one side sheet of paper like I have here so that you can roll your brayer out after each color. And you do want to have 2 sheets of paper that you're working on. So almost with every one that you're making, you'll get 2 backgrounds. I'm using just the generic Nina white paper, so nothing too crazy. Actually, this might even be Staples 110-pound cardstock. So I'm going to come right in. Actually, no, I am not. So I'm going to pick a stencil first. This is where the magic starts. So I'm going to put my stencil down over it, and I'm going to pick up this image right now. You can use another brayer to pick up the color if you want, or you can just use your hand and run through the whole thing. You can pick them up, the Gelli plates. This one's kind of big, so it wobbles a lot, so I'm not a huge fan of that. So this one just made polka dots. Okay. Now you're going to go up and pick the negative. The acrylic paints, because they're so thin, you're not using that much. They do dry quickly, so you kind of want to make sure you're going through this pretty quickly. Don't let it dry too much. And then you'll notice that the paint comes right off the Gelli plate and right onto your page. So now, what color do you want to use next? I'm sticking with a fall theme. So now I want to come in with some brown, and I'm actually going to bring in a little bit of white. You notice I'm just rubbing my brayer off a little bit to the side. Sorry if I'm jiggling you at home. Brown's not the most appetizing color. I realize that. Got paper back here, curled up, Georgia humidity. And this time I'm going to use a couple stencils over here to the side, so I'm sorry you're not seeing those. This time I'm going to use my, we'll do the lines. So because now I'm picking up the smaller of the spatial, I mean this is kind of evenly proportioned, but I'm actually going to go back to the bigger piece here, pick up the lines, try to line it up with where I was. Like I said, no exact science here. Just a ton of fun. A little bit of cleaning up afterwards. So there's those lines. And now I'm going to come pick up the mess with the other one. Don't worry, it won't be terrible. I'm going to come in now with some green. Like, I have absolutely no idea what this is going to look like in the end anyway, so you just never know. These blops are a little big. That I will tell you, I got a little heavy-handed on that one. That out of the way. Alright. So we're going to soften up that brown so it doesn't look so rawr, scary. Got some triangles here. I think we'll add triangles here to this one. So these are just backgrounds, and actually what we're going to do is we're going to use some gold, I think we're going to use some gold texture paste and put those on the background once it's all dry. The acrylic paint will dry very quickly. Don't stress, it's still not terrible. I'm going to pull in a little bit of red here. Red will go everywhere. Put a little bit more white. Some people will do a couple of passes. It all depends on your mood. I am going to end on a gold tone. So now I'm going to actually start putting in some different stencils, little pieces that I have that are flopping around. And then we'll take one in the middle here and we'll smooge that. Go in here, we'll smooge. So come pick up that. Like I said, all these stencils are plastic. They're all stuff I picked up at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or anything in the discount rack. I really don't spend a lot of money for stencils. Over here, I'm going to add some circles on there. And last but not least, we're going to leave that on there. But now we're going to come in with some gold. And that is a-okay with me that there's some pink in there. I'm going to get some metallic. And I kind of want to come back in with something small. And do that. And if you don't like it, just make another one. Some of them will always get a little more smudgier than others. I think I still want a little bit of a more metallic-y end. So I think maybe now we'll finish up with copper. Didn't really think I was going to do another one after that, but I know what we're looking for. I know what I'm looking for. And I think we will come back in with the polka dots. Polka dots here. Tone it down just a bit. And finish up. Okay. Browns, yellows, and oranges are always very difficult to work with. There's some shimmer here. I'm not sure if you can, there you go. You can probably see it at home. So once I put down my embossing paste, it's going to make it's just going to be very, very pretty. So these were the two that I made. And now we're going to hop over to the blue. So let me put these aside so they can dry. I'm going to grab a baby wipe. And I'm just going to wipe off the top of this press. And try not to make too much of a mess, an additional mess. There is some color that's on that. I'm just working on my craft mat because, again, all the acrylic paint will come right off that. One over here. And now I want to do my nautical one. And I'm going to end with the big stars that are right here on top. Those I'm also going to do probably with some whipped spackle and some sparkle. I'm thinking they're going to be white stars in the end. But these are the stencils that I wanted to play with. So I can move all these colors aside and bring in some blues. I have a dark blue that I will offset with white. Yikes, again, that's heavy-handed right there. That has a big squish. All right. Yay. Pretty drastic going from fall to water. But I just wanted to show you all of the options. So the first one, we're going to do some starfish here. These are brand new. Need to open them up. We'll go straight this time. Grab my 2 sheets of paper. Come on in. Now there's little detail in here, little teeny starfishes. So I am going to be a little more careful and press through. That is going to be probably a little blurry, which is okay, but we'll pick it up anyways. Actually looks like a fish tank, huh? So a little bit there. That's okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. Let's do the boats next. And we'll do the boats with some green. Still gonna be a little bit of blue on there, so that's A-okay with me. Now the boats, I'm going to go put on the thicker background here. Switch them around. Ah, now they're sailing the other way. That's funny. Probably should have paid attention to that, huh? To me now they're sailing backwards, even though they're not. Clean all that up. And we will do the anchors. I think I want to do the anchors. I actually think I want to do the anchors a little differently. Let's get purple. Get some shimmer. I actually think I'm going to do the anchors the same way so that the just the image comes through. I don't need the back so much. So we're going to do that the same way. Do that one twice. Pick those up on each one. They're so tiny. You'll notice the smaller stencils tend not to work as well. That's why shapes are so much fun to use. Little anchors there. I'm going to come back in. I'm going to roll it out again. Just because I want the little anchors on the next one. I don't want the big smooge. Anchors down. Haha, anchors away. Anchors in. These anchors do have shimmer paint. Okay. And they're very tiny on there. And to finish up, I want to do just a couple of little shapes. I want to lighten it up a little bit. That one I want to lighten up, and this one I want to darken up. So this is some shimmer. I'm just going to do some polka dots. Polka dots are always fun. Dry. You can see the shimmer on the end. I hope I can see them. I'm going to come back in because I want to keep the same texture again. And I'm going to add one more layer to this one. You probably will always like one better than the other. It happens. And let's see here. I really do want to darken that one up just a wee bit. I think maybe we'll come back in with those little starfish. And finish that one up. Okay. So I'm going to let these dry. Some little starfish on there now. I'm going to go and I'm going to clean all this stuff up, get a fresh start, and I will be right back. Thanks. Okay, and we're back and cleaned up, and I have my game plan. I did want to show you the other prints that did get made. So this was the other starfish one, the nautical type ones that I was doing. And then these were a couple that I had made in the past, but you can just see some of the great colors that you get picked up and some of the great, I mean, they're flat texture, no question, but just some of the different, this has got some shimmery triangles in it, which I'm not sure you can see, but just some fun colors. And this is the other red one that we had just made, a brownish, goldish one. I am going to use the other one, but this one I also believe I will probably do the same thing with. I did decide that I'm going to use whip spackle for my stencils, for both of them actually. So let's just get to doing that. So the whip spackle, it's just a paste type that can, it'll dry white. And you can also add sparkles to it. You can add gelatos to it so you can make it colored. I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm going to use it as the white color. I do have a spackle brush. Also, really cool thing to have is hotel keys. So if you travel quite a bit, or somebody does travel quite a bit, tell them, bring those hotel keys home. Move this up here. So I'm going to use, I have this big roll of removable labeling tape, just so I can make a mess on my stencil, so I can go around the edges and not mess up. Try and make it as straight as I possibly can, because I am going to cut that 4x6 eventually. I do want to get my spackle down. One more sheet here. Okay, then we're going to come in a Faber-Castell product. I absolutely do love working with this. It's kind of, well, it's a lot lighter than peanut butter, but it's the same kind of consistency. All you're going to do is spread it. And that is all that has to happen. Dries relatively quickly. It's a nice product to work with, nice and clean, and you can easily remove this right now because that is what we're going to do. And I'm going to go put my sparkles on right now so that the glitter dries with it. Okay, and we're going to turn these brown. Get my little glitter shaker. And that is going to dry with the little pine cones on them. They're going to be nice and shiny and shimmery. I could have been completely anal retentive and turned those green if I really wanted to, but we did not. I'm going to come in here with just a cloth, wipe off the extra. No need, it's not sticking. It was just kind of where the leftover residue was from the Post-it note paper. And then we'll finish this up once it's dry. And then we're going to go finish the other one here. This time we're going to use the stars. All that glitter back in. Give it a quick shake. This is one of the memory box stencils. This is going to be as big as the card is. I'm going to reuse the tape that I just had. I'm not so worried about going over the edges now because it really is the size of my card. Okay, the whip spackle does dry quickly, so if you are using it, make sure you keep it capped when you're not using it. Get it in all the nooks and crannies. Problem here. Pick that up. A little goes a long way. And you are all set. This wipes off with baby wipes. It wipes off with warm water. So whatever you have on hand, you can get that cleaned up instantly. Very easy on the workspace there. Baby wipe here. All better. We'll peel this off instantly. I'm going to be using some of the Elizabeth Craft Designs. This one is Warm Diamond instead of Cool Diamond. It's got a warmer hue to it. Pick my stencil up. There's all my pretty stars. Do need to get that cleaned. And we'll add all of this. Bring it all in and shake it off. So when this is all dry, these stars are going to sparkle. So right now I'm in a holding pattern. Everything needs to dry and clean up. So I just wanted to show you today what you could do with Gelli plates, and also bring in the whip spackle. That's one of my favorite things to play with. And what kind of cards you can make. So I will go ahead and finish these off camera, and they will be the pictures that probably start the video. This stuff is just so much fun. You have endless possibilities of what you can do with the Gelli plate, the colors you can bring in, the textures. What I didn't mention before is a lot of people will use bubble wrap and pull up paint. If you have an abrasive sponge, draw lines, draw shapes, you can do all that. The sky is the limit. So I hope you enjoyed and learned a little bit about these products, and I hope to see you next time. I hope you're all well. I'm so happy to be back, and tune in next time.